Hello, basketball coaches and basketball players. My name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 1-3 zone defense and then the one man who kind of plays like man-to-man. Basically, this is, in my opinion, possibly better than the box and one. Let me explain. Basically, the other day, the Toronto Raptors played against the Houston Rockets. If you've been watching my channel, you probably have seen that video where I kind of broke down this defense and the other defenses that they played to shut down James Harden to under 25 points. Yeah, that's amazing how you can shut down a player to 23 or 24 points and consider that a success by shutting down that player to 23 points. It's crazy how you can... It just blows my mind how James Harden can average almost 40 points a game, having games up to 60 points. It's just insane. I can't believe it. He's a fantastic player. He does flop a lot, but he's a great player. Going from there, this is a great defense. The 1-3 is where you have one player playing the point or defending the point, and you have three players essentially defending the baseline, defending the net, and then you have another player somewhere else defending the guy who you don't want scoring, which in the Toronto Raptors case was James Harden. But let's get down to the clipboard. I'm going to explain to you this defense down on the clipboard, and I'm going to explain to you how you can teach your team how to run this same defense so that you can hopefully have the same success on shutting down a player that Toronto had. If only Toronto could have gotten rebounds and also could have not turned over the ball so many times. Anyways, let's get down to the clipboard. Okay, so as we can see, this is our guy who is going to be guarding the other team's best player. In a regular box and one zone, you're going to be having players guarding a zone, a box, just like so, and they're generally not guarding the three-point line, which again is something that you're going to see in this defense. Now, in this defense, this is a great defense if you're playing up against a team that has one really great player, which is going to be his man, and has a very tall team so that, well, you can hopefully get rebounds with three players down there, which apparently the Toronto Raptors just didn't do at all. But yeah, please let your team get rebounds. Please let's hope that your team gets more rebounds than the Toronto Raptors. Anyways, so basically what we're going to be having here is player 3. He has a dual responsibility. And his first main responsibility is to guard this whole area here. Don't worry about the three-point line. He will contest it, but he will not be guarding the three-point line. If, however, let's say player 2 blue is the other team's best player, and this is one-on-one, basically if he starts getting close to that three-point line, player 3's job is to jump out and double team player 2. As you can see, this is leaving many options on the court for the other team to shoot a three-point shot. So you need to know if the other team is able to shoot the three-point shot, because if they can, this defense is not going to work very well for you, but neither would the box and one anyways. What this defense is giving you is fantastic post defense. You've got three players down there and shutting down the other team's best player, and this works. This works really well. But yeah, James Harden, if you weren't watching the game, James Harden had 6 points in the first half. 6. It was fantastic. And then we have player 2 guarding this zone, player 5 guarding this zone, and player 4 guarding this zone. Generally, the free throw line and below. It actually got me confused. I originally thought, when I was watching the defense play, I originally thought that they were running my 1-4 unbeatable basketball defense. And it got me thinking, wow, I knew Milwaukee used it last year in the playoffs. I would have never thought the Toronto Raptors would be using it, and they weren't. They were running this, but it confused me for a few seconds. And when I seen the three players along the baseline and they were not running a 2-3, got me thinking really quickly. But yeah, anyways, go check out that book if you want. It's fantastic. It probably would have helped Toronto win that game. But going back down to the clipboard, we're going to have, again, the double team up top. If there's any players with the ball in those overlapping areas. That is a double team. Player 4 will then come in to defend the other side basket so that there's no players cutting down the middle of the key or the far side of the key to get a nice easy layup. That is player 4's responsibility to cut off. Now, the way you can practice this in your next practice to be able to let your team run this in your next game or in a game in the future is by quite literally how I teach all other zone defenses, even my own unbeatable basketball zone defense and the 4-1 zone defense. And that is by basically setting up a 5-out offense with essentially just 5 players on offense, spread around the 3-point line, have them pass the ball around, see how the defense is moving. Now, considering that there's nobody guarding the 3-point line and they're just contesting shots at the 3-point line, what you can do is basically have players cutting through the key, getting the ball and receiving the ball in the low post to see how your team reacts. And then, if you want, you can even set up your own offense against the defense and say to that defensive player who's playing man-to-man, this is the man you want to guard, and the guy who's playing at the point, this is the man we need to double team, or this is the woman or lady or girl, who man, boy, whoever, that you need to defend if he gets within a foot or two from the 3-point line. Now, the idea behind this defense is to obviously shut down the other team's best player. By doing this and getting the double team and running a jump on him so that as soon as he gets within range of the 3-point line, he has a double team, one of two things is going to happen. He is going to either dribble into a double team and lose the ball. He's going to try and dribble out of the double team, drive towards the rim and lose the ball, which we've seen James Harden do quite a lot in that game. Or what you're going to see is him picking up his dribble, getting stuck, turning over the ball. But this is when your wing players, that 3 and 4 in the bottom corners, let me show you really quickly. These wing players here, this is their job now. So if player 2 was to get double teamed and we had a player out on this wing, now this is something that the Toronto defense did not do very well on, and that is seeing that there's a player on the 3-point line, and this player 2, instead of worrying about this man down low, we needed him to get a bit higher so that when player 2 made that pass, it would be a pick-off, or at least what we would hope to have as a pick-off, because if player 2 is getting double teamed, he is going to be stressed beyond belief, and when that happens, we need player 2 to start nudging a bit higher, and by him nudging a bit higher and player 2 making that pass, he's going to be able to pick that off. And we've seen just that the other night when we had Hollis Jefferson on the court. He was predicting that pass from happening, and he picked off that pass 2 or 3 times, which was absolutely fantastic. So if you have a really fast team when it comes to these wing players, and then you have a very tall center, in the Raptors case, Marc Gasol, and then you've got a quick, very fast guard or a defender or maybe a soccer player, because, well, we all know soccer players can really play a lot of defense because of their foot speed, then you could have that player guarding the other team's best player, and then we'll have the player at the point who is going to be by far your most athletic and your fastest player on the court. And by running this, what you can say a 4-man triangle or a 1-3-1 zone defense, then you are going to be becoming a very successful basketball team. Now, again, if you would like, go check out those 2 books that I mentioned, the 1-4 defense as well as my 4-1 defense, and basically going from there. My camera has died, or not died, it's ran out of memory. So if you would like, go check out the video that's in this upper corner, if I remember to put one there, and go check out the subscription button right there. It may be over there as well, who knows. But anyways, go check those out, and I will see you guys again in our next video, which will be coming out later today. And I wish I could show my face, but here, I'll draw one for you. Look, there's me. Bye-bye.